The docking bay of the Grand Galactic Collegiate was a symphony of polished metal, humming energy fields, and chattering voices. Students from 100 worlds milled about. There forms a breathtaking array of biology. Amidst the vibrant throng, a solitary figure waited, her posture deliberately still. Her name was Kaylin. She was of the Velm, a species prized for their graceful, phosphorescent bioluminescence and agile, quadrupedal form. Kaylin possessed none of that. A childhood neurological affliction had left her bioluminescence dim, a pale flicker against her pearlescent skin. Her lower limbs, 2 instead of 4, were supported by slender, articulate braces that whirred softly with each minute adjustment. Her large, dark eyes watched as the other students paired off with ease. Bonds of species or academic convenience formed in seconds. An ideal structural co-pilot. A robust Tarkin boomed, clapping a fellow Tarkin on his carapace. Your cognitive rhythm is compatible, a melodious Aquarian chimed to another. Callan's datapad remained silent. No queries, no pings. The unspoken consensus of the Bay was clear. The partner selection for the upcoming deep space navigation trials was about optimal performance, not charity. A disabled Velm was a liability. She was a statue of quiet dignity in the flowing river of alliances, utterly alone. Across the bay, a human student observed the ritual. His name was Leo. He found the efficiency of it all mildly depressing. He watched the Velm girl, noting how others gave her a wide berth, their eyes sliding away. He saw not a broken thing, but a person practicing immense calm in the face of a quiet storm. He consulted his pad, pulling up the public roster. Kaylin, Velm, specialization, celestial cartography, and anomaly calculation. Her academic scores were not just good, they were near the top of the cohort. Leo did not walk over with pity. He approached with purpose, weaving through clusters of aliens until he stood before her. He offered a small human smile, not a wide grin which could be misread, but a simple upturn of the lips. Your scores in cartography are impressive, he said, his voice neutral. I am Leo. My specialization is adaptive systems engineering and improvisational problem solving. I am seeking a partner for the trials. Kellen's large eyes blinked slowly, the pale light in her cheeks pulsing once in surprise. Her voice, when it came, was soft but clear. You have reviewed my full profile. You see my physical ratings. I have, Leo nodded. I also see your accuracy in plotting stellar drift is 0.003% above the next best student. I see you calculated the gravity well variance for the Khufu belt in your second semester, a problem most third years avoid. You list attributes that are not considered primary for the trials. The course requires physical dexterity at external consoles, rapid movement between stations. My braces, they are not slow, but they are not Velm fast. Leo shrugged a very human shrug. The course also requires flawless navigation, precise calculation under stress, and the mental fortitude to not panic when a simulated pulsar decides to act up. I can move fast. I can handle the physical loops. What I need is someone who knows where we are going and the fastest way to get there, better than anyone else. So my question stands. Will you be my partner? The words hung in the air. They were not romantic. They were professional. They were an offer of utility, of mutual respect. It was the first time anyone had ever looked at Kaylin and seen a component that could complete a system rather than a broken piece. A warmth that had nothing to do with bioluminescence spread through her. Yes, she said, the word firm. I will. Their first practice session in the simulator was a quiet disaster. Leo, eager to prove his physical capability, moved too quickly. Between the external sensor array and the pilot's console, inputting commands before Kellen's calculations were fully ready. Kaylin, used to working alone and with meticulous care, found his pace jarring. They failed to navigate a simple asteroid field, their ship taking simulated damage. After the run, the silence was heavy. Leo finally spoke. "I was wrong. I tried to do 2 jobs. I should only do one. You are the navigator. You are the brain of this operation. Tell me exactly what you need, when you need it, and I will be your hands and feet. Nothing more, nothing less." It was a surrender of ego. Kalen looked at him, seeing genuine intent. "The protocol assumes the navigator is at the external console, manually confirming readings. I cannot get there quickly. You must be my eyes there, but you must wait for my word." "Then we create a new protocol," Leo said. They practiced not just the course, but their own language. Leo learned to read the subtle shifts in Kellen's dim bioluminescence, a flicker of blue for urgency, a steady pale yellow for confirmation. Kalen learned the set of Leo's shoulders, the tone of his voice when he was waiting on her. He positioned. The external sensor feeds on a secondary screen by her station, so she could see what he saw. He became an extension of her will, moving to consoles only on her quiet, precise commands. The day of the trials arrived. The observation gallery was packed with faculty and students. Their ship, the CSV Resolute, was a standard training vessel. As they took their positions, a murmur went through the crowd. The disabled Veln and the human. It was a curiosity, a footnote, the simulation initiated. It was a brutal course through a nebula rich with ionic interference, littered with debris and hidden gravitational sinkholes. The comms channel crackled with panicked reports from other teams as ships veered off course or took hits. Inside the Resolute, there was only focused quiet. "Leo, recalibrate long-range sensors to filter for ionic scatter pattern delta. Focus on my mark." Her voice was a calm melody. "Recalibrating? Done. Reading a mass shadow at bearing 270. It is not on the charts. It is a sinkhole. I see it. Adjusting course. Do I have your permission to increase thrust by 15%? Affirmative." For 6 seconds exactly, their ship slipped past the danger as another team's vessel on the main viewer was caught and destroyed. They moved not with the frantic speed of others, but with a strange, deliberate rhythm. Leo was a blur of motion, but only at Kellen's direction. Kalen was a statue of concentration, her fingers flying over her holographic maps, her eyes reflecting the starlight data. Her mind built a perfect, real-time model of the chaotic space around them, finding paths invisible to others. The final obstacle was a dense debris field surrounding a simulated wormhole exit. The safe path was long, winding, and time-consuming. Most teams took it. Kellen's eyes narrowed, her fingers tracing a line through a seemingly impassable cluster of spinning rock and metal. "Leo, I have a path. It is statistically dangerous, but it is 30% faster. It requires perfect timing. Do you trust the data?" Leo, strapped into the pilot's couch, did not hesitate. "I trust the navigator. Lay it in." A new course flashed onto his screen. It was insane. It was a zigzagging dive through a maelstrom of fragments. It required bursts of thrust and moments of complete inertia at seemingly random intervals. "Beginning maneuver," Leo said, his hands steady. What the gallery saw was breathtaking. The Resolute did not fly like other ships. It moved in a series of jarring, precise jerks and stops, like a needle being threaded by an unseen hand. Kalen called out commands, her voice never rising, a stream of numbers and vectors. Leo executed them with machine-like precision. They did not dodge the debris. They moved through the spaces that were always just about to be there, dot in a final. Heart-stopping moment. A massive fragment spun toward them. The obvious move was to go under. Kalen saw the gravity eddy it would push them into. Over. Now. Full ventral thrust. Leo pulled the stick. The ship groaned, skimming the top of the fragment by meters, and then shot clear into the calm space before the glowing wormhole exit. They crossed the finish line. The chronometer stopped. They had not just completed the course. They had set a new collegiate record. The silence in the gallery was absolute. Then it erupted. On the simulator deck, Leo unstrapped and walked to Kellen's station. She was looking at their time, her pale bioluminescence now shining with a soft, steady light he had never seen before. It was not the bright flash of a healthy villain, but it was hers, and it was bright. He did not hug her. He did not shout. He simply extended his hand, palm up in a human gesture. Outstanding navigation, partner. She placed her slender, three-fingered hand in his. The touch was cool, the grip firm. Adequate piloting, partner. Later, after the awards and the stunned. Congratulations, after the other students looked at Kalen with new, bewildered respect, they stood again in the docking bay. It was quieter now. You asked me a question this morning, Kalen said, looking at the stars through the vast viewport. You asked if I would be your partner. It was a transactional question. For the trials. It was, Leo admitted. Kalen turned. To him, her dark eyes reflecting the starlight and the ambient glow of the bay. The partnership succeeded. The transaction is complete. So I have a question for you now. Leo nodded, waiting. The next semester, Kalen said, her voice still soft, but layered with a newfound strength. There is an advanced deep-range survey project. It requires a skilled cartographer and a resilient systems engineer. I am seeking a partner. A slow, genuine smile spread across Leo's face. He understood. This was not an offer of gratitude. It was an offer of equality. It was a choice he gave. The same answer she had given him, with the same firm convey.